Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Garrett McKenzie Fishing. I recently did a video of my top 5 spring baits. I'm going to go into a little more detail here. So I'm going to go over my spring crankbaits, the crankbaits I like to throw around spring. So let's show you guys. This is a Rapala Shad Rap. This is one of the lures I like to throw around spring. It's nice because it has that thinner body, which gives it a tighter wobble, which is kind of what you want in a spring crankbait. The bait fish and bass are going to be a little more lethargic and slower moving around the water, so that tighter wobble will give you a little less action. So, good lure there. And this one's in a, I think it's like chartreuse olive color. Anyway, good lures. Another lure that definitely comes into play while spring fishing is the Strike King Red-Eyed Shad. It's a lipless crankbait. Lipless crankbaits are definitely used in spring. I would say at least 75% of the anglers would probably be throwing one of these come springtime. It's a great lure. There's a couple different ways I like to retrieve it. You could throw it out and straight retrieve it back in, or you could throw it out, give it a couple of jerks as you're bringing it along, or sometimes when they're a little slower, I'll give it one jerk and this bait will kind of flutter down to the bottom, and then I'll rip it off the bottom, kind of let it flutter down again, rip it back off the bottom. So yeah, definitely a good lure, must have. The red color seems to work the best in the springtime. So another lure that I like to use, this is the Rebel Bluegill, but pretty much just a bluegill imitation. Bass are going to be spawning in the springtime, so a bluegill bait would really get them agitated. They don't like bluegill around their nest because they'll steal the eggs. So throwing this in is a great idea and works great to catch bass. I know Live Target has some good bluegill imitations, but I just went with the Rebel. It's a little cheaper. I think this is about $6. Really good lure. I think this one, yep, this one has a few beads in it, but definitely a good lure to have springtime. Another thing I want to go over is telling you guys, don't be afraid to fish the baits. This one dives to about 5 to 10 feet, so don't be afraid to throw this in. Even sometimes I throw this in 6 foot of water and I just work it slower, and sometimes that's what really works in the spring. They don't want a bait that is going everywhere, a ton of action, going super fast, because they're going to be slower. It's colder water, they're more lethargic, so sometimes I'll use, like I said, this one that dives 5 to 10 feet in 6 foot of water, and I'll just run that closer to the bottom, run it a little slower, and sometimes it really works. So, let's see. Well, I guess that's it, but I hope you guys like this video. Please leave me a comment, like, subscribe. Anything would help me out. I'm just trying to get started doing a YouTube video, learn stuff, and teach what I am learning about fishing to you guys. So I'll see you guys next time in another episode of Fishing with Garrett McKenzie Fishing.